if you sit in your driveway with the car running,
you're going to go there.
and you're trying to give yourself a pep talk just to walk in the door,
Good night.
that's not a fun place to be.
No. If that is you currently right now, you need help.
And it's okay to say that.
It's okay to say that.
Because don't rob yourself from the rest of your life of freedom and joy with your spouse.
Marriage struggles and money struggles, we hide those things.
Everything's great.
And those are the two killers in marriage and business.
And you don't realize how you carry that into the workplace with you.
Obviously, business isn't easy, right? Or else everybody would be doing it. But then having like a supportive spouse at home is a game changer. What if the biggest thing holding your business back wasn't in the boardroom, but it was in your living room? I'm Ben, and I'm with my beautiful wife, Kristen. A decade ago, we built a construction company reaching 6 figures, but at home, we were falling apart. We lost our construction company and almost lost our marriage. We focused on the foundation of our marriage, coming back stronger than ever. We built a new construction company reaching 7 figures.
Oftentimes, entrepreneurs their biggest struggle in business is because of the market conditions, a lack of capital, maybe not enough time, and not realize that one of the single biggest contributing factors to the success of your business is actually your marriage and your home life. And that is exactly what we experience.
I believe the biggest weakness a business owner could have is to compartmentalize different aspects of their life and their emotions. For me, for instance, compartmentalizing when we first ran our first business was we were growing a business, and we were growing pretty well, taking on really big jobs, getting really good clients that were kicking us like amazing projects and making really good money. But at home, ignoring or kind of not bringing to light a lot of the issues that we were having. And in doing that, it was like you were like almost like shoving it all in the closet and trying to push that closet door closed. And then eventually that closet door wants to open up.
Bust right open.
Bust those hinges right off.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what happened to us. Is like eventually that closet just got too packed, and that maybe something just popped or a little shake in the house, the foundation, and then boom, that closet opened up and everything flowed out of there.
Yeah. Well, because it seems like it's okay for a while. It's like you focus on business because life at home isn't good. So then, of course, the business gets better because that's where you're putting all your time and energy. Well, then neglecting home life just makes that worse. And so it really is just like a ticking time bomb. And then one day something blows up, something's got to give. And so I think a lot of it, like you're talking about compartmentalizing is, and maybe it's the woman at home with the kids, depending on the dynamic of your relationship and your season of life. It can be easy for the mom to get overwhelmed, but just like make her life all about the kids and neglect the husband. And then the husband can just make his life all about business and then neglect the wife. And so you're just living 2 separate lives, and you become more like roommates, sharing bills, maybe sharing kids once in a while, tag you're in and out, 2 ships passing in the night, that kind of thing. So, and you lose the romance and you lose the love that the whole marriage was built on in the first place.
Right.
And you don't realize how that carries, as the business person, you don't realize how you carry that into the workplace with you.
Yeah, you lose the pursuit of your spouse, like not what it took, but like what I did to basically win you over. That old school way of like all the night winning the lady over, because as guys, we go through all the hoops, jump through across every mountain, every valley to win your heart, win your hand in marriage. But then when we have you and then things happen and then we lose that first love, if you will. And so then we kind of, put that away, and now we're putting it towards our business. So that pursuit, that grind, that tenacity in business, that was what we should be using in our marriage, but we've instead of kicked it to the business and keep in a kind of added fuel to that fire. And so we compartmentalize that part of our brain or that emotion. And so where, we want to stay at business a little bit longer. We don't really want to go home because we want to avoid that conversation. Because if you're dealing with customers and employees and the flip side too, it's like you could be killing it in business and customers love you, your employees love you, you get all the great reviews and you're making all this money and you feel like the man and everybody looks up to you, but then you get home and you have your spouse looking at you like,
Are you gonna take the trash out?
yeah, you're like, so you lose that like that
Mhm.
respect or like that, you don't have
Yeah.
that same feeling that you do as you, when you run your business. So you kind of push it even more to the side, the marriage, and
Mhm.
just focus even harder on the business. And it's all fun and games, and it's all feeling good at first when you have money coming in, but money only lasts so long, and that feeling of that false sense of security to have money only lasts so long. And sometimes it will last for a bit because I think you just like develop a lifestyle. You two of you develop a lifestyle into like being able to spend and get you what you want, go on a vacation by yourself, and but it's only a matter of time before something it's that crack in that foundation really starts separating that foundation out.
Mhm. And then as the businessman, you think you're not carrying that with you about your day, right? But you don't understand that, like, psychologically, subconsciously, if there's stress at home, that's actually affecting your business performance. And so you're not as creative, you're not as willing to take risks, you're not as able to problem solve because you're not thinking as clearly. And so you might think you're the man, but like studies actually show that that actually has a negative effect on your performance in business. So your productivity is not as good, and even if you think you're sustaining it, it's not as good as it could be.
Hmm.
And so, because somewhere deep back in your mind, you're thinking, my wife's mad at me. She's upset I was late again, or I missed the kids' soccer game, or, whatever the thing might be. She feels lonely or neglected or forgotten. And you know that, and you're carrying that with you in your day. And so you might think it's not affecting your business, but subconsciously it's in there. It's like tucked away in a little file cabinet and it's affecting your performance. And so ultimately, I know like might never think that, but it's affecting your bottom line. So it actually has an effect on how much money you make and how successful your business is.
Yeah, I think that thought of it's cheaper to keep her, that expression.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if that's in the back of your mind, it's cheaper to keep her,
Yeah.
bro.
That's not healthy.
That's not healthy.
Yeah.
And to your point, how much money are you actually leaving on the table and losing because your creativity you can't grow and
Hmm.
now you're thinking it's cheaper to keep her. Like what a sad way to continue to live your life.
Yeah.
And obviously, yeah, and then to that point of it's cheaper to keep her. Well, okay, let's play that out for a bit. So you're gonna live your life, just continue on separate rooms of that,
Miserable.
separate sides of the house. These are your that's your kids. These are your dogs.
Hmm.
You deal with them. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna just keep bringing us in money, and you go on your vacation. I'll go on my vacation.
Yeah.
And what a sad way to live like the rest of your life.
Yeah. And not realize, like, so these are all the negatives and the pain side of it, but the beauty of marriage that you're missing out on, because your spouse is like your built in best friend. Like, your spouse really should be your best friend. And so to want to be able to spend time together and enjoy hobbies together and go on date nights and have conversations that are meaningful and set vision for your future and talk about just the life that you've made together and your plans and your goals together. There's also studies that talk about like when you're able to, like, your conflict resolution as a business person is actually better when you can go home and talk to a spouse that supports you.
Mm.
And so just the ability to, like, do you ever open up? And not, this can get also into an unhealthy place of like coming home and venting and like dumping this load of negativity on your wife because all the work drama. Like, that's one piece where it's kind of too much. Like, you need to figure out what that line is, but also like, hey babe, I'm dealing with this thing. Can you talk to me about, and not, that takes a lot of humility for a man. I know that there's a lot of pride that you have to work through too, but just like in a casual way that I've got this situation going on. And your wife might not have any idea what you even do for work. I'm
Hmm.
just picturing like these high profile CEO, finance guys, investments, like all these things that, I mean, I can't even call out the names of like what you guys even do. But so your wife might not know the intricate details of what it is that you do. But if you open up and share that, like the bonding that comes from that, from her to be able to say, well, have you thought about this? And not even necessarily be able to problem solve with you, but just someone to hear your struggles, hear what you're going through to support you and encourage you. I know for us, like thinking back to our story back in the beginning, like the reason the business failed was you got a bad client. There was a bad deal that should have never happened. And that job went south hard. And it was a big job, high stakes. And that's ultimately kind of like the nail in the coffin for that business. And we weren't in a place where we could talk to each other about it. And so when you'd come home with all that stress weighing on you, I didn't know how to support you. I didn't know how to encourage you. I didn't know how to come alongside and be a team with you.
But did you even want to?
Well, no, like because then I saw how it threatened the lifestyle we had grown accustomed to. I saw how it was affecting the peace in the home and how it was affecting, we had small children at the time, just how it was affecting the atmosphere of the home. And I just figured it was sort of like well, you got yourself into it mentality of like, that's your thing. Business is your thing. And yes, I helped with business on this, marketing. I did different things like behind the scenes at home. But as far as like customer interactions and actually handling the job and doing the work, like that was all you. And so it felt like a very different, we just weren't a team in it. Whereas now, when we've gone through financial struggles with the business, when we've gone through highs and lows, when you've had bad clients, bad customers, we're a team and we can problem solve together and I can relate to you and support you and lift you up if you're ever feeling down. Like it's night and day difference between how we come together and talk about business struggles versus how we did back then. And it was so unhealthy, obviously. That's why it fell apart. And so much of it is like communication tools and just those kinds of things. But I think just ultimately realizing you're a team, whether your wife is engaged in the business or not, you guys are a team. And so your ability to support one another when you open up and have those conversations and involve them rather than this is your life, this is my life. It's that individualistic, which ultimately is selfishness, that breeds
Mm-hmm.
selfishness. We're not here to serve one another. You figure your stuff out. I've got my own stuff. And it's just, you're not a team and you're missing out on the beauty of marriage that we have a built in best friend for life that's like seen us in the highs and lows, knows how to cheer us up, knows when I need my favorite ice cream, like brought home because I had a really rough day or something like that, like someone to just lift you back up again.
Mm-hmm.
You're just missing out on that. And it affects your business.
Yeah. Hey there, we hope you are enjoying this conversation. But hey, we had a quick question for you. Right now, currently, who is in your corner for your marriage? One thing we know about the top athletes, the top business owners, the top leaders is that they all can't do it without the support.
That's right. And when it comes to a couple in business, it's the same way. Imagine what it could be like, even if you're not in crisis. Maybe everything's going great, but imagine what it could be like to have a couple in your corner, encouraging you and making sure you guys stay aligned as you continue down your path together.
Or maybe you are in crisis mode and you have no idea where to even start. Well, we can help you with that too.
There is going to be a link in the description below. You can click that link and you can go ahead and book a discovery call with us. We would love to get to know you, hear your story, and see if we might be a good fit to help you on your path moving forward.
Let's get back into this conversation. I think coming to that realization when it's because like money only hides it for so long, and so when we came to that realization of that breaking point, it's either well we go our separate ways, and but we have our children were young, so it's just like well we need to try to make this work, and then it just like that that thought of the split home thing, and so we're just like well we got to make it work. We have to figure this out. We have to change something. So if we don't, we just try to patch it up. It's not going to work. It's just that's going to fail again. You know what I mean? So that thing that was to the realization. Like unfortunately, it came to like the breaking point of the ticking time bomb that literally like we had like 1 second left on that bomb before it, but we diffused it just in time. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
those movies where like the guy's just sweating and he's just trying to defuse the bomb and it's like 1 second left and he like gets it done.
just,
Everybody's like, ah, okay.
yeah.
That's exactly where we were at, and so often we bury, hide. You know, this is mine, this is yours, and then you just kind of the kids kind of that's when you kind of see like then the kids get out of high school, they graduate, and then mom and dad split up. Like the people that get divorced at like 25 years, 30 years, and they're gonna split. Like,
After all
bro, what?
that.
Like 30
Yeah.
years and you're gonna get a divorce? Like,
Mhm.
are you serious? But I mean, years and years and years of just pushing aside, compartmentalizing, not avoiding all conversation, any kind of hard conversation, avoiding all of that. And and then you kind of see these guys, they never really are the same. But that thriving couple is dominant. And I think that's that realization that we came to. So like putting in so much work
Yeah.
in our marriage and then just like learning and like, oh my gosh, like I have to look at you like this, and oh my gosh, like we should unpack all of our drama from before, and oh my gosh, like how I communicate and how I'm supposed to look at you, and all these things that like you think until you go and actually learn like the right way,
Yeah.
and you're just like mind blown of like I'm even supposed to look at you? How like my thoughts about you, the
Mhm.
way I speak to you, it all matters.
Yeah.
And the way you respect me and look up to me and support me, it all like kind of coexists together in this beautiful masterpiece, if you will. But it can get off the rails really quick.
Yeah. And a lot of us just don't have the tools to know how to do that. And so for us, it took rock bottom, desperation. We flew halfway across the country to go to a marriage conference to learn because we had no idea, which takes a humbling of yourself. It takes like laying aside pride. It took investment. We paid money. We had to organize like childcare for our kids for those days. Like we had to go through a bunch of hoops to do it. And it took both of us wanting to change it, but we just had this underlying belief that like marriage isn't supposed to be like this, right? And so once we went to that conference, it was like our hearts were open, we were all in, and we were absolutely just mind blown over the stuff that we heard. And so taking all those tools, because sometimes you don't know how, depending on the family you were raised in, how your parents treated each other, if you came from a broken home, whatever the
Hmm.
dynamics were, what you've seen modeled for you, those things we just pick up and that's how we are. And we don't even realize how toxic it is sometimes. And even if you had a great upbringing, even if you had great parents, great family, your parents are still together, they love each other, you still just need that teaching and those tools now that like it's different to hear it and see it and then to actually walk it out for yourself. And so like to have to be face to face with a moment at home where I have to lay aside my preferences and like choose to let you have your way in something,
Hmm.
like there's a sharpening that happens in marriage of giving up my preferences so that you can get your way sometimes, it's like meeting in the middle, negotiating, learning to like new things because we didn't like a lot of the same foods even in the beginning. So it's like date night, where do we go? You don't like sushi? Are you serious?
I love sushi,
And
man.
now he likes sushi. And so it's just, there's so much that you have to learn walking it out. And so no matter how old you are, no matter how long you've been married, to be able to come to a place of humility and say, we need help in this. We need some support. We need some tools. We need someone to talk to that can show us the blind spots that we can't see.
Hmm.
And that's so much of what we got at that marriage conference. And now it's a yearly rhythm for us. We know the importance of investing in our marriage, taking the time to go let people pour into us
Yeah.
the things that we don't know, the things that they've learned. And so that's just so our heart now and why we even do what we do is because you don't have to let it get to rock bottom. Like, don't let it hit that place of desperation before you reach out for help. There's just unhealthy patterns already there. You guys have the same fight over and over, or you've even stopped talking altogether
Hmm.
about certain things. It's just reach out then before it's too late
Yeah.
and go get like talk to people and get help. I think that's why
Yes.
like one of our favorite parts about being able to coach married couples is just you don't see what you don't see. And sometimes you need an outside perspective to say, hey, have you guys tried this? Or it sounds to me, or having like, the husband and wife, this was the thing at the marriage conferences is like the elbow because they're talking to the wives and you're like shoving me really hard. Like, are you listening, babe? Do you hear that? And then me doing it to you for your stuff. And it's like to be able to have a husband and wife a man and a woman coach us as a couple,
Mm.
and then you listen differently when a woman tells me something than when a man tells me something. There's just something about it. And like when they can say the same thing you've already said to me. And I'm just like, no, you can't. Like, I have defenses
Mhm.
when it comes from you. I did have defenses when it would come from you. But if like a woman, like like my pastor's wife would say something to me, it's like, oh, really? And she could say the exact same words. But because of the way it's delivered, because it's coming from a woman who's lived it and walked it and seen the fruit of it in her marriage, I receive it so differently. And so there's hope, like there's just so much power in opening up because we like to act like we're perfect. We
Mhm.
like to act like we're great. We don't like to share our struggles, especially as
It's
a
marriage
businessman.
marriage struggles and money struggles. We
Yes.
hide those things.
Everything's great.
And
We're
those are the
great.
two killers in marriage and business.
Yeah.
And we hide them, like we try to like put this facade on like everything's going to be okay when it's like, bro, like you need some help.
Yeah.
Like you need some coaching. You need to like go on a retreat. You need to do something. You need to because if you continue to do the same thing, it's going right down off that cliff.
And so many couples struggle with the same things.
Hmm.
And it just takes one to say, "Hey, we're having a problem. Like we need help with this, or how do you guys handle this situation?" And especially like-minded couples in a similar type of the similar job, like field of work or a similar season of life. They have young kids or they're empty nesters, like being able to gather with, which we think like our local church is the coolest place to be able to meet people like that. You gather in community and get to meet people like that. But even in just your friend group, in your neighborhood, in your business, at corporate parties, like be looking for other couples. But all it takes is like you guys are probably struggling with a lot of the same things. It just takes someone being humble enough to open up and say it. And then the power of, hey, this is what helped us. And so that's just our heart with what we even do is like we crashed and burned hard and we will tell you
Blew
all
that
about
John
it
right up.
because we don't want you to walk through what we walked through. And now, like, you're my best friend in the whole world. And we have so much
Oh.
fun. Like, building this business together is so
Hmm.
fun. Raising kids together is so fun.
Yeah.
Like, just there's so much more joy and fulfillment in our marriage now that we just want that so much for other people. It's like, it's possible.
When we're together now and on the same page, what that equals to in our marriage, we're more focused. We
Hmm.
have a clear vision.
Yeah.
Like we're stable. So
Yeah.
the house is stable, which equals in our kids are going to be stable.
Hmm.
Like there's goes a lot down the line of what your kids will become
Because of what they
because
watch
of
you
what they
do.
watch you do and what they
Yeah.
feel in the home. Even if they don't hear you fight, even if you fight behind closed doors or you don't fight at all and you're just silent treatment. Well, your kids feel that no
Mhm.
matter the age.
Yeah.
And so the stability that comes from a healthy marriage, like your success of your kids could rely on that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's successful stories of the broken home and that guy came from now he's a billionaire. Like that's like one out of a billion.
There's also a lot that go the other
There's also
way.
like probably way more,
Yeah.
probably like 98% more come out of those situations broken and repeat cycle.
Bitter and hard.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
how they treat women, how they see man, just because of what's going on in the home. Just because like nobody wanted to talk about it. No, everybody just kept trying to push it under the rug. And pretty soon that rug's a lot of stuff
You
under
can't
there,
get
homie. You
around it.
need to kind of clean that out. So
Yeah. And it's not a comfortable process. Like sometimes there's really hard conversations you have to have.
yeah.
And that's what we learned going through those years of rebuilding is like, hey, I've got a lot of junk from past relationships. Like I'm really messed up about trust because of this situation that happened to me or this thing that someone did to me. And so now I am like subconsciously holding that against you. Like how much do we do that?
Mm-hmm.
We have baggage from how someone treated us before and we hold that against our spouse who had nothing to do with it. Or we see like toxic patterns from our parents maybe and it reflecting in our marriage and I refuse to go down that path and so I'm going to keep you at an arm's length. Like there's just so many things like that that you really have to unpack and fessing up to stuff if you've got secrets, if you've been dealing with different things that you're hiding from your spouse, whether it's like financial, pornography, relationships, like inappropriate conversations online or whatever it is. Like but facing those things and having those hard conversations and the intimacy that comes after.
Mm.
And if you don't have the tools to know how to have those conversations, like also seek a mediator or some kind of help to show you how to do that. But working through those conversations and facing those things, it takes courage and it takes a willingness from both parties because you know that there's like resolution on the other side. And so, not that I ever looked forward to hard conversations with you, but whether it was me sharing something with you or you sharing something with me, I'm so grateful for every one of those because it brought us closer together.
Yeah.
And so I have greater compassion for you now for some things that you've shared with me. I just have more patience and more grace. And I know how you respond to things I know how not to talk to you. I know the right tone to use. I know when not to bring stuff up. I know what might be a touchy subject. I know all those things now because we've had open communication about it. And so, how much people just try to play the tough guy or try to guard their heart or protect themselves and don't want to open up and let their spouse in to those like deep places in their heart. And yet, that's holding you back. And so, not only is that affecting your home life and your family, but also the business, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like when you know you're hiding things, that takes so much mental effort to just be covering your tracks
It's
and
exhausting.
exhausting. And so then you're trying to go out in the business world and be creative and make new relationships and win customers over and scale your business or whatever you're trying to do. But you've got all this stuff going on in your mind, hoping that she doesn't find out about this or just juggling trauma from your past. All of it holds you back and you don't realize that. A lot of it is subconscious. So it just takes conversations and like opening up and realizing it's time for me to do something about this. So, and not giving so much power to your past, you know,
Yeah.
just keeping those things in the dark, it holds you back. Like, don't you want to be free?
Mm-hmm.
Freedom is worth the hard conversations. Freedom is worth the pain of bringing things up because conflict brings intimacy. And
Say it
now
again.
conflict brings intimacy. And I'm so grateful now for every hard conversation we've had because we're stronger because of it.
Yeah. Growing a business now is easy. It because we're in it together. There's no you. This is my thing. You go. You're the house thing. No, it's together. It's just so much. It's like a breath of fresh air when you're trying to do your own thing and it's hard at home. Like because it's obviously business isn't easy, right? Or
Mhm.
else there'd be everybody would be doing it. But running a successful business takes a lot of work. Takes effort. It takes strategies. It takes late nights. It takes you know all the things that it takes. But then having like a supportive spouse at home is a game changer. Why?
Yeah.
Because you're on the same mission together. You're doing the same thing. You're going the same direction. So now we're creating a rhythm that is breathing success
Yeah.
versus like always like dreading coming home and oh man, like you're blowing me up. When are you gonna be home? Like and missing dinner again. I guess all the little comments
Yeah.
that could be made. But when you're in it together, it's just like okay, then you're communicating because the communication is different, right? This person's like this might be a long night, and
Yeah.
okay, and then you just plan differently.
Yeah.
Versus before, you wouldn't have said anything. Then 6, 7 o'clock, you're wondering where I'm at. Well, I'm working. Well, that would have been nice to know. Just like the simplest things, but like you just think
Yeah.
like, well, she should know that. Well, homie, like, how is she gonna know if you didn't tell her? She can't
Yeah.
read your mind, and he he can't read your mind, and she can't read your mind.
Yeah.
Even though like you've been together for a bit, so like now we kind of know what to expect, but still like you have to communicate, you have to say something. So just like breathing healthy rhythms in your marriage, and ultimately it just it's like it's just freeing.
Yeah.
I think there's no baggage, there's no like chains like weighing you down when you're good at home.
Yeah.
Cause it like you literally like the creative freedom I have to like create a business. Cause my brain is like always thinking of like a new way to create a business and we can do
Always.
this and we can oh man, if we did this, we can, it's like that creativity is shut down if you and I aren't good. But since we've been on this journey and have like created our rhythms and healthy rhythms and are still learning and still growing and still getting better,
Yeah.
so like the creativity though is like through the roof. And that's like that's like the greatest unlock, like just like the cap is like, or the dam is open and all that water is just flowing out. It's like the great, like that analogy, if you can just see when they release the dam and all that water, it's just like that flood of like ideas and creativity, and like because it's like that's it's breathing success because you're successful at home. And I think we how many businesses are just like just kind of skating by. Yeah, they might be doing good, doing a few million a year, maybe couple millions a year, like okay, but what could you be doing if you were free at home? If at home was just amazing. You and your spouse were on the same page. Like you guys loved each other like when you said I do. What then would your business be? Like now think about how big you can be. Because and then it's like you want to include like so now, right? So fast forward to our construction company now, like I want to include you in, like I want you to be a part. Like I don't want to not be home. Like I want to come home. I want it like, when those jobs are going to take longer, I'm just like it's more of like a bummer like, oh man. Okay, well, like, so like that's like starting the second location. It's like having to go and manage that sometimes and this and that. So it's just like, oh man, well, what's the cool now? It's like you can come with me and
And that we want to go with
right, and you
you.
want to go with me, and
Yeah.
it's just fun. Like looking for ways to get off early, to go golfing, go out, go to the park, go to the water park, go um just go to the beach.
Yeah.
Just looking for opportunities versus just like dreading to come home. Like it's dreading to come home like that. What an awful way
If
to
you
live.
sit in your driveway with the
Hmm.
car running
You're gonna go
and
there.
you're trying to give yourself a pep talk just to walk in the door,
Good night.
that's not a fun place to be.
No, you shouldn't be there. If
Yeah.
that is you currently right now,
Oh,
you need help.
and it's okay
Yeah,
to say that
it's okay to say
because
that.
don't rob yourself from the rest of your life of freedom and joy with your spouse. Like, as you were talking about the things that you include me in now, it's like the business wins, like you land that client, you get that job you wanted, you hit the numbers you wanted. Like, you should want to run home and celebrate with your spouse, go out to dinner, go do some like special thing together to celebrate. Like, that's part of being together, the fulfillment that comes from doing life together
Mm-hmm.
is that you always have someone there to celebrate with you, and that's what makes it all worth it.
Yeah.
Because what is it worth it if you hit all your goals, you blow that business out of the water, you open all the things, you get all the revenue, make all the money, if at home you go home to an empty house because you neglected what should matter most to you in the world,
Mm-hmm.
and then you've lost it all, and what's it worth? You have a whole lot of money all by yourself.
Well, you might.
Well, for now. But like, none of it's worth it. If you and then your kids don't know you or don't want to know you. They grow up, they don't want to come home for Thanksgiving. They don't want to have family
Mm,
meals because they don't know you. You lived at work, or when you were home, you guys were always fighting or there was tension in the house. That's not it's just it there's so much more available for you,
mm-hmm.
I guess. And so I guess the heart of this conversation was just so many people don't know the impact that your marriage has on your business performance.
Mm-hmm.
And so, not just for the sake of business and money, but for your own soul and your own health and your own, like, the worth of your life. You're going to get to the end of your life and look back. And what do we always hear is like all the regrets people have.
Mm-hmm.
It was never that I didn't spend enough time at the office. It was always, I wish I spent more time with my kids when they were
Mm,
little. I wish I put my phone down more.
mm.
I wish I
Or
went on
when
more
what do people
vacations.
say? Are they even gonna say anything about you?
Yeah.
Like those are the sad ones on those funerals where like nobody
Hmm.
wants to get up and say anything because they had nothing good to say about you. Like
Yeah.
not even your own family.
Because you didn't invest in relationships.
Mm,
So it's a sobering thought, but also one that's really important to have right now while
mm-hmm.
you have the ability and the power to change it.
Yeah.
And so there is hope, and it doesn't have to be like that. There is a future where you could love to get home. You could love to come home. You can love your wife could be standing at the door. She's been waiting all day for you to come home. The kids run up and grab you and throw their arms around your neck. Can't wait. Daddy's home. Daddy's home. Let's go do something, because of the joy and the fulfillment that you have together. And that's just sort of the vision that we hope that you see
I
after
guess that
this.
because it's interesting that you say that because now I'm just like when I come home now, it's that you say that I don't know I just maybe have taken it for granted or just the change that I've seen over the years. Like where I come home, no matter where it's at now, it's like whether it's from golfing or whatever, it's like the dogs greet.
Only because they're faster. They have
They
more
do. They
legs.
bolt to the door, but then and they all like want to say hi, and then like the kids both say hey dad, hey dad. It's just like everybody acknowledges versus like
It wasn't always like that.
yeah, it wasn't always like that.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I just kind of
Yeah.
I just saw
Well,
that
because if
that moment.
you would come in stressed, or it was like, give dad some space, like wait till he's ready, because you'd come home tense because you didn't want to be there, you know?
Right.
So it was a lot. And we were dealing with financial stress. Like there was all kinds of stuff that led to that back then. But because of the tools that we have now, it's like, no,
Yeah. You should
we're
look
excited to see you.
you should look forward to wanting to come home and see your
Hmm.
family. If that is not the case right now, then fix it.
Yeah.
And
And it's fixable.
it's fixable. That's
Yeah.
what we're trying to convey in this conversation, you know, 30 minutes in, whatever. Sorry that we got this taken this far. We're laying the foundation here.
Yeah.
Is that it is fixable. Like you should enjoy wanting to come home. Like
Mhm.
you should enjoy wanting to celebrate wins with your family, with your spouse. Like when a big event happens and now we get to go out to a fancy dinner, like if your wife can't come, like I would second guess it. Like I don't know. Like I mean maybe there's different things that pop up and now we're all kind of going together, but just colleagues or whatever, but like I want you to come. And that's kind of what we
We're a
do now.
unit.
Like, like I want to celebrate this with my spouse and with the team, of course, too. But like, I want you to come as well too. Not just like, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and celebrate, and then like you're at home with the kids. Like that's no, like I want to include you in it. So like, because we're a part, we're a team. Because if at home isn't, if it wasn't as good at home, then we wouldn't have had the success in the first place.
Yeah.
That's like just that mindset and that mind frame to be at. Like I'm only is going to be as successful as I possibly can in the workplace if at home our marriage is successful. If we're not successful, I'm only going to be I'm capped.
Yep.
But if I'm good at home, we're good, we're thriving, then it's limitless what we can do in the workplace. Period. That's just the bottom line.
And so if you're in that position and things haven't been great, step one, go on a date night.
Date night.
And rule number one, you are not allowed to talk business. Leave your work phone at home. Leave the laptop at home.
You bring the laptop on date
I
night.
know, don't do
That's
that.
messed up.
iPad, whatever device you have, leave it at home. Go on a date night and do something. And don't go to a movie where you can just stare at the screen and zone out and not talk to each other. Go to dinner and then do an activity. And it
Hmm.
can be something random. You can go bowling. You can go to mini golf. We love mini golf. Go axe throwing. That's a cool one that we did recently for the first time. Go do something together, because standing side by side and doing an activity together is like, that's how friendships are built. And so you might be in that place where you need to start back at the beginning and rebuild your friendship and figure out, why did I love this person in the first place? Hello, you're married.
Mm-hmm.
At some point you liked each other.
I hope
At
so.
some point you loved each other enough to put a ring on it
Mm-hmm.
and to walk down the aisle, sign the paper. And so rediscover that, start dating each other again, and let that sort of rekindle and start to like each other and love each other. And then as you go through these things, start to have those hard conversations and say, hey, I'm not happy with how things have been. How are you feeling?
It's
Do you
easier.
like this?
It's
Like,
easier to
let's
have that
fix it.
conversation while it's you're lovey dovey, or not even lovey dovey, but you're having fun. You're
You're
reconnecting.
relaxed.
You're
Yeah.
relaxed. It's easier to like bring something up that's maybe bugging you, or something that's like you're seeing a trend of. It's easier because you're both in the right mindset
Hmm.
to have that conversation.
Yeah.
And then maybe it's not going to be resolved in that same conversation. Maybe it's going to be a thing to like process out. And then maybe like, but if you bring it to light, I know some things like in the past for me, like you've brought things to light or like I wasn't even aware of,
Hmm.
because you're so tunnel visioned and when you're in that state of mind, right? But then you bring it up and you're like, okay, whatever. whatever. And but then you're like, and then you do it again. You're like, oh shoot, yeah, she wasn't
Yeah.
lying. And then like you do it again. You're like, oh shoot, yeah, she really was on to something here. But then it's like, but because she said it in a state of mind where you could receive it,
Mhm.
now when you do it, it's so much easier to like. Then you see it in yourself, and you're like, dang it. And then you're just like, you kind of like get the icky feeling, like, oh man, I'd been doing that, or I've been saying that, or I've been acting like that. It's easier then you kind then you well, hopefully you want to fix it to be better.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, like none of us are, well, most of the time, none of us are intentionally trying to do something. It
Mhm.
could get to that point. I feel like if things get neglected and whatever, like you can get to the point where you intentionally do something to like mess with the other person,
Yeah.
um,
You're that bitter
because you're that bitter and things have just gone on for too long. But
and even little things like you're talking about like correcting things to stop doing, but even things to start doing. Like I remember this is such a little one, such a low effort, but it made such a big difference to me was like you would get up really early to go to work and I'd still be in bed and you would just like cuz you get up and you're in go mode, so you get ready and you just go.
the panic has gone when the
And then
alarm
when
goes
I
off.
finally said like, "Hey," cuz I think one time you did it. You did this. And so I was like, I experienced it.
Maybe you
And
were
you
nice
came
before the night before.
probably. But you came and you kissed me on the cheek while I was still asleep. And I like woke up, to you like kissed me on the cheek. And then you said, love you. And then you left. The way that filled my cup, like for the whole day, and the simplest, most low effort act of love ever. And not that every woman's like this. You got to figure out what your wife's thing is. But like such a small little thing just to make me feel like you see me, you
Mm,
notice me, you love me, and you thought about me ultimately, that you thought about me. That cost you no money. That was free. It cost you maybe 30 seconds of your time and a few words to speak. And yet, when you started doing that every morning before you left, it was just like I went about my day feeling loved and valued and considered, that like you thought of me. And like
mm,
those random texts in the middle of the day, like, hey, love you.
mm-hmm,
I just wanted to say love you, or like the little kissy emoji, or whatever it is. Like those little moments to just send a text that,
mm-hmm.
like, hey, I'm thinking about you.
Yeah, just because you think it but don't act on it doesn't equal you actually doing it.
No, she has no idea you
No,
thought
and
that.
your intention doesn't mean much
Yeah.
if you don't act on them.
Follow through
Yeah.
and do it. Yeah. So some, like I don't know if you've ever heard the book, The Five Love Languages, Gary Chapman. It's like iconic. But some women prefer gifts. Some women prefer an act of service. Do something for her. Take out the trash. Wash her car, something like that. Or they want like time, quality time. Cancel a meeting so you can come home early and take me to go do this thing. Like figure out what your spouse's love language is and then love them in the way they receive love.
Mm,
That was a big
yeah,
unlock for
that was a
us.
new one for us.
And so, because you might be putting your effort towards something that just doesn't really move the needle for her,
Mm-hmm.
like a little one is like when you would buy me flowers and you thought that that meant something to me because like girls love flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Like I actually don't. Like I find it kind of silly and then they're really expensive and they die really fast and it's like something I have to feed and take care of. And so
Said that was
once
such.
I find once I finally said that to you, it's like, oh, why would I waste my money on flowers then? Like
Yeah.
I like you could bring me a Snickers bar
Man,
and
bro, that
I'd be
was
happier.
$100. You didn't
I know.
like those flowers?
I know, but it's like figure out what that thing is for her because you might be trying to make an effort and it's not really hitting the way that you want it to. And so figure out what that is.
Yeah.
Leave her a little note on the counter, a little handwritten note. Hey babe, love you. Can't wait for dinner tonight.
And
Something
two,
like that.
things change, seasons change too. So
Yeah.
that's the thing of staying up on your game.
Hmm.
Like things sometimes different seasons change where like maybe you do want more gifts than not before, or
Yeah.
act of service was more important. But there's like core things that people like kind of gravitate towards as well. So, but I know in different seasons, like we've had different things like, well, right now, actually, a nice gift would be nice.
Hmm.
And then before, it's just like a little kiss on the cheek is all I need.
Yeah.
So it's just, but that's like the whole point of it is to do life. You're doing life with a person,
Yeah.
and we change and we grow, and our taste buds change about things. You know what I mean? So,
And also, I think the difference between back to compartmentalizing, thinking I go to work, I'm bringing in all the money, I'm providing for the household, and to not think you have an important role at home, not just as a husband, but as a father. So if you have kids at home, your role is irreplaceable. And sometimes it can be I come home and I clock out and I just want to rest. Like today's been a lot. and not realize that you have kids there that are waiting for you to pour into them and love on them and do stuff with them. And so that relationship is a whole other thing, you know. And so if the woman's at home with the kids, helping with the kids, you know, like being present for those activities, being present at the dinner table, not working away in your office and doing stuff. That's a big one too. So just in no matter what your season of life, you are more than just a businessman. You are more than just a CEO. You are more than just an entrepreneur. You're a husband, potentially a father. You're a human being, and you are able to have a thriving relationship with all of those areas of your life at the same time. It is possible. It just takes intentionality.
The greatest thing to remember is this: we're not just building companies, we're not building these Fortune 500s, we're not getting the biggest stock, wallets and all this crypto, and like we're building strong, healthy marriages, a strong, healthy family that lasts for a legacy of time. That like you can see your kids generationally be successful because you were successful at home. Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters, is that like you can pass something down to your kids that they want to take it over. They want to be a part of holidays when they get older. They want to fight with their spouse to, no, we're going to my parents for the holidays because of the memories and just the presence that you created in your home. Ultimately, that's what all of our goal is as husband and wife, as parents. When we want to, yes, we want a successful business, we want to have wealth, but at the end of the day, if you don't have a healthy marriage and your kids don't like you, then none of it is worth it, and it's going to cost you way more in the long run than just putting in the effort that it takes to make sure you and your spouse are going on the same page in love like you were the day that you met her, the time that you saw her, the time that you seen him, and your heart was just beating out of your chest like, oh my gosh, who is this person? That feeling should stick around
Yeah.
until the sweetest thing. And when you see, like, because we work on retirement homes and stuff, and you see that sweet couple that's in a retirement home that's old, and they in the morning they get out of their home, their little thing, and they go down to like the restaurants, holding hands
Aw,
and just giving each
sweetest.
other a little smooch. Like,
Aw,
bro, they've been together forever, and now here
mhm.
they are.
They still
In the
love
end, they
each other.
still love each other.
Yeah.
They know all the little things, and they take, hold her hand, and it's like I was like watching, like, oh my gosh, like how beautiful is that? Because they put in the effort, and maybe that things weren't always perfect, but they made it work to where now at towards the end of their life, they're still in love with each other. I think at the end of the day, that's what matters. And then their kids come and see them, and it's just like a great. You just feel the energy that the kids are and the grandkids are still a part because it's like a legacy thing that we're after. So ultimately, putting in the effort, it's a little bit of effort is all that you need.
You can do it.
You can do it. Hey, we hope you enjoyed this conversation. Hey, maybe you are wanting to fix something right now in your relationship and you don't know where to go, you don't know where to look to, but you know that things need to change so that you can have a successful marriage and a successful business. Well, guess what? We have a link in the description below where you can book a discovery call with us so that we can see if we would be a good fit to work with you and help you get unstuck and be successful, not just in business, but also in marriage. See you soon.